What if I told you the electric car isn't some new age 21st century invention, seriously? What if I told you that back in 1900, electric cars were so common, they made up about a third of all vehicles on the road? It's true. There were fleets of electric taxis buzzing around cities like New York, and the fastest car in the world was electric. This isn't science fiction. This is the forgotten history of the electric car. A wild story about a revolutionary idea that got knocked down for 100 years before making one of the most incredible comebacks in history. Our story starts way back, almost 2 centuries ago, the very first, and I mean crude. Electric carriages were cobbled together in the 1830s by inventors in Scotland, Hungary, and the Netherlands. A Scotsman named Robert Anderson is often tipped as the one who built the first one, around 1832, but these things were basically just wagons with a battery and the batteries weren't even rechargeable. The idea, though, had sparked. A real game changer was the invention of the rechargeable lead-acid battery in 1859. Suddenly, things got interesting. By the 1890s, the first real commercially sold electric cars were cruising city streets. A guy in the U.S., William Morrison, built a 6-passenger wagon that completely captured the public's imagination. People loved these early EVs for all the things gasoline cars weren't. They were quiet, were clean, and they were incredibly easy to operate. No stinky exhaust, no deafening engine roar, and best of all, no dangerous hand crank to get the thing started. For one brief shining moment, the electric car wasn't just a future, it was the future. So what happened? Why did this amazing technology just ... vanish? It wasn't one single thing, but a perfect storm of disruptions. The first big blow came from Henry Ford and his mass-produced Model T in 1908. It was simple, it was tough, and it was cheap. By 1912, you could get a new gasoline car for just $650. Then, massive oil fields were discovered, making gasoline dirt cheap. At the exact same time, the electric starter was invented in 1912, getting rid of that dreaded hand crank and wiping out a huge selling point for EVs. As roads got better, and America fell in love with the open road, the short range of electric cars and the total lack of places to charge in the countryside sealed their fate. By the 1930s, the electric car was basically a museum piece, used only for things like milk delivery trucks and forklifts. The roar of the internal combustion engine had completely silenced the quiet hum of the electric motor. For decades, the electric car was basically asleep. The oil crises in the 1970s gave it a little nudge, but the tech just wasn't there yet. The real comeback story kicks off in the 1990s. General Motors launched the EV1, the first mass-produced electric car of the modern age. It looked like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it was expensive, still relied on lead-acid batteries. And the whole program was famously, and controversially, shut down. The real turning point came from somewhere you might not expect, the hybrid. When the Toyota Prius came out in 1997, it was a huge deal. It wasn't a full EV, but it took electrified engines mainstream, proved that people were hungry for cleaner, more efficient cars. But the most important thing was happening behind the scenes. The birth of the modern lithium-ion battery. Lighter, more powerful, and able to hold way more energy. This was the missing piece of the puzzle. With powerful new batteries on the scene, the stage was set for a full-blown revolution. In 2008, a gutsy little startup from Silicon Valley called Tesla Motors launched the Roadster. It was the first highway-legal electric car to use lithium-ion batteries, and it had an incredible range of over 200 miles. The Roadster didn't just change the game. It flipped the whole table. It proved that electric cars could be fast, they could go the distance, and they could be seriously cool. A couple of years later, in 2010, the Nissan Leaf hit the scene as the first globally mass-produced all-electric car, bringing the EV dream to a much wider audience. Today, the old problems that killed the first electric car, cost and charging, are being solved at lightning speed. Many EVs can now go 300 or even 400 miles. Prices are dropping and charging stations are popping up everywhere. From a 19th century curiosity to a forgotten relic, and now to the absolute cutting edge of the car. The story of the electric car is all about never giving up on a great idea. If you love stories about the tech that's changing our world, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. The road has been long, with a lot of bumps and false starts. But the electric car is finally making good on its promise from over 100 years ago. Now, the focus is on creating more sustainable batteries. It's building smarter grids and making these amazing vehicles accessible to everyone on the planet. That quiet hum that was silenced a century ago, that's the sound of the future. It's a revolution that was a long time coming.